In a headline-grabbing exchange, Bill Maher directly challenges Kaitlan Collins over what he describes as her network's obvious political slant. With sharp commentary and pointed examples, Maher argues that CNN no longer seriously attempts to present itself as neutral. He contrasts what he sees as overwhelmingly favorable coverage of Kamala Harris with what he calls consistently harsh and critical treatment of Donald Trump. As the conversation unfolds, Collins attempts to defend the network's journalistic standards, but her responses fail to satisfy Maher's central concern. The discussion eventually reaches a stalemate, with Maher suggesting that deflection cannot substitute for accountability. The moment becomes less about a single interview and more about a broader question of credibility in modern media.
He said something like, you guys at CNN just report the news straight. And the crowd burst into laughter. Look, I'm on CNN now. I guess we're on it right now. I mean, they show this show the next night. I don't know how we get away with it with all the fucks, but they do. And all these dirty jokes. But I'm glad. And I'm a big rooter for CNN. But that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing in that arena of like, this is a terribly divided country. We're not only politicized, a lot of people just hate the other side. And CNN, in my view, should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing with that?
CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties. We'll have Elizabeth Warren on one night. We'll have Ted Cruz on another night. I think lawmakers from both parties should take questions and you should push both.
Maher's core argument goes beyond guest selection. Simply inviting representatives from both political parties, he argues, does not automatically create balance. True neutrality is not measured by who appears on screen. It is reflected in how stories are framed, what angles are emphasized, and how challenging questions are distributed. According to this critique, bias is often subtle. It can appear in the language used to describe events, the order in which stories are presented, or the intensity of follow-up questions directed at different political figures. A network may host opposing voices, yet still shape narratives in a way that favors one ideological perspective. If a newsroom were genuinely committed to impartiality, the focus would not only be on equal airtime but on equal scrutiny. It would mean presenting facts without editorial spin and allowing audiences to interpret events independently. Instead, critics argue that networks like CNN often filter reporting through interpretive frameworks that influence how viewers perceive political developments.
On CNN being a place of credibility, I mean, look at what just happened in Chicago. We had 300 people from CNN on the ground covering that convention. There were several reporters from just our team alone on the floor, bringing it in real time to people. And I think CNN puts resources behind things and just brings a level of news that you don't get anywhere else. And I think CNN does a great job.
I'm talking about the people on CNN. And what I know what the conservative side of America thinks, and I don't blame them. I watched Kamala's speech last night. It ended at 8:09, I guess 11:09 in the East. It wasn't until 11:23 till the one conservative guy, what's his name?
Scott Jennings.
This lonely Scott, I call him.
David Urban was there too.
Wait a second. I watched from 8:09 to 8:23, they were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out to be. But if I'm a conservative in America and I'm watching CNN, just for the straight middle of the road, that's what I hear for 15 minutes, is it's great, and then lonely Scott. It does look, and when you see the path, it does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there, like MSNBC, than to have this person.
Well, I don't think you could say it's better to have nobody there than also lament the fact that you don't think the conservative guy, Scott Jennings, who is great, and we have him on my show all the time, spoke up early enough. I think it was a Democratic convention. They turned to Democrats, people like...
Observers frequently point to coverage of events, such as the Republican National Convention as an example. In those broadcasts, analysts sometimes respond immediately with pointed criticism following major speeches, highlighting perceived weaknesses rather than allowing viewers space to process the content themselves. Detractors claim this pattern reinforces the perception of imbalance. By comparison, MSNBC openly embraces a progressive identity, which some argue creates clarity for its audience. Critics say CNN's challenge lies in maintaining a brand of objectivity while facing accusations of leaning in one direction. Viewership data has intensified the conversation. Reports have shown declines in cable news audiences overall, with CNN experiencing significant drops in subscribers and average daily viewers in recent years. Meanwhile, independent digital creators and alternative platforms have grown rapidly, signaling a broader shift in how audiences consume political commentary. Many viewers appear to be seeking transparency and authenticity over traditional broadcast formats.
And what explains why certain Republicans like Tucker Carlson have become so pro-Putin? Good question. What does explain that?
Your buddy. Man, I don't know. Tucker hates my guts. I mean, I think we all know that.
Well, that says a lot for you.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how to explain Tucker. I've never met Tucker. Never even spoken with him. He just trashes me because I think it's a bad idea if Russia wins a land war in Europe. And I would remind everybody, and I was getting serious, but I would remind everybody, if you don't stop Russia there, right, and we're spending maybe 5 to 10% of our GDP, defense spending just on supporting Ukraine so they can fight their own battles. If you didn't do that, if you never gave them any Stingers, never gave them any Javelins, you'd have a Russian army that is fully intact and also very aware that we don't defend our friends, and they'd be on the border of former NATO countries. If you want to get closer to war, that's how you get closer to war. So what do I make of some random, his opinion who got fired for Fox News? I don't know.
That opinion, which I agree with, is out of step with your own party.
It's about half and half. I mean,
Really?
You can see it in our votes, yeah. But it's an ongoing discussion. And Trump, by the way, has never ran away from it. Trump has always said, first of all, he threatened Putin when he was in office. He said, well, we're going to
With what, a kiss?
In a culture like Russia's, that would be a threat. But no, he said, reportedly said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Moscow if you invade Ukraine. In any case, we know he didn't invade Ukraine while he was president. He increased the lethal aid to Ukraine by a lot, actually. And he's never said he's backing away from Ukraine. What he has said is it should be a loan. We should have mining rights. Europeans should pay more. All things I think we all agree with.
Okay.
Except that whole impeachment thing.
Which part? The ones that
Trump was
Democrats
impeached
impeached
for
him for?
wholeholding aid to Ukraine.
The thing that Biden did before
Good
that.
point.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, but that's diplomacy. And Biden
That's
did the exact.
that's not
Biden
diplomacy.
did the exact same thing, literally to the exact same country.
No,
Yes,
really?
he did.
What'd he do?
He was bragging about withholding aid unless they fired that the prosecutor.
corrupt prosecutor, which is what your party complains about
That's
when it's
diplomacy.
aid to them.
So American presidents have that power to say, no, we're going to withhold aid because we don't like what you're doing. If our State Department and I'm not bashing Biden for doing that either, by the way.
But Trump
I'm
was
bashing,
withholding aid
but
because
you
he
can't
wanted an
impeach somebody for
investigation
doing what
into
is
Hunter
within their
Biden.
powers as the president. Sorry, but
Now the question turns to you. Do you believe CNN operates as a neutral news organization? Or do you think its coverage tilts toward a particular political perspective? Share your thoughts and join the discussion about media accountability and the evolving future of journalism. If you appreciate in-depth breakdowns like this and want more conversations about media, politics, and public discourse, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Independent analysis thrives when viewers engage thoughtfully. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next discussion.